Um, well, actually, no, I do have 40 meters selected here. Let me do all. Yeah, look, that's all of them. So I have to scroll. So it's very exciting. I do notice a lot of Japanese calls on here, and they seem to be going at it with their conversations and stuff. They're all on the same frequency. But let's go ahead and let me ask a question, then I'll let everyone else have the floor and ask you questions. My big question was I guess it's kind of a generic question we ask a lot of guests is, what got you started doing this? How did you get involved, or what got you on the ball that's now rolling?
Like FreeDV was actually, I think this was like in the mid 2010s or something. I think I found FreeDV one day when I was just searching around online, and I kind of just I use a Mac for my main computer at home, and I realized that they didn't really have. They kind of just had like only a Windows and a Linux version, and I kind of wanted to run it on my Mac natively without having to throw it into a VM, because I've had bad experiences with running Windows only stuff in VMs before.
Mhm.
So my first introduction to the project was basically I went and got it to compile on Mac OS. And then over time I just kind of got more and more into it and just started like contributing code changes, and now I'm pretty much one of the primary developers on the project.
Very cool.
Wow.
And I know a lot of people on Mac appreciate your hard work, because there's so many things that are Windows only, and I know it frustrates Mac users.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to go into chat, but anybody here, if you feel free, guys, if you have a question you want to ask, I've got more, but I don't like to be the only one talking.
I haven't seen any questions yet on chat side.
But I would like to ask, how was it born, and what is the process to get the FCC to say, okay, this is a mode you could use on the ham radio airwaves?
So there was a program called FDMDV before my time, and it was kind of like another digital voice mode for HF, and at the time they used some sort of commercial codec. I don't remember offhand what it was called, or what company made it, or anything like that. But it was in that gray area where you basically that company didn't necessarily give approval for hams to be using this, but they also didn't like specifically come out and say no, right?
Right.
So hams were playing with it, like it was kind of like this gray area. So hams were playing with it, and then the stuff happened, and eventually that one company was like, no, hams can't use it anymore, and that killed the project. And because of that caused the ball to start rolling on what's known as the Codec 2 library, which is a library made by David Rowe, BK5DGR over in Australia. And that was intended to be a open source, like patent free, all that good stuff, digital voice for HF. And then initially there was only one mode in Codec 2, and then over the last decade plus that it was developed, more and more modes got added in there. So now if you download you can still download the Codec 2 library, and if you do that, you can play around, and there's all sorts of like modes you can like actually potentially go on the air with. In fact, if you guys have heard of M17, they're actually using the Codec 2 library. They're using the higher end of the available bit rates that we have. So so it's definitely made a huge difference in terms of like the digital voice situation on HF. And now with the last couple of years in particular, which is why there's a lot more interest in FreeDV now, is because we've gone to the next step pretty much, and basically added machine learning to FreeDV to dramatically improve the audio quality and robustness on the air. So we can operate down slightly lower signal noise ratios. When it decodes a lot closer to what the person sounds like if they were next to you, rather than that like robotic type sound you're used to on like DMR, for example.
P25. Yeah.
Well, even FreeDV in the early days, that's part of why I didn't do a lot with it, because it sounded so robotic. You guys have made exponential growth with it. It compared to what just 4 years ago it sounded like is 100% improved. My question is, you figured out how to get it to where, like, just use a general as a example. How did you get it to work in such a narrow bandwidth with the codecs you're using in HF?
So at least for the I'm not really too much of a codec person, but basically in the old days of FreeDV, it involved a lot of glossy compression effectively.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the audio quality wasn't particularly great. The nice thing about the machine learning stuff we're doing is we can actually, there is like a lot of that compression still going on, but on the other end, when you're decoding, you can actually, based on the machine learning, it can kind of figure out like how stuff should sound when it's decoded based on how it was trained. So it has a little bit of better idea of like how to reconstruct what was taken out when that compression happened to go out over the air.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I just know it works better than it did when it was on the 1600 version. When I first started messing with it was a couple years ago. We started kicking it around for an MCOM, one of our MCOM options in our MCOM plan, emergency communications plan, as an option. But that was, I think it was we were using 1600 if I remember right, and the RAID or RAD hadn't come out yet. And man, it was just horrible. It was horrible. I just couldn't. I got frustrated with it. I ended up uninstalling it, and then you might know Rick Sagers, who I think his audio clip is on your FreeDV website, freedv.org website. Rick Sagers is a friend of mine, and he's part of my NCOM group here in North Texas. So he's always emailing like, "Oh, there's a new update. There's 2.21," and there's he's always sending stuff, and he does a net and all that kind of stuff too. But he told me, he says, Paul, you got to get the new version, this new AI enhanced. I forget how he explained it. RAID, is it RAD or RAID? I don't know which one.
I pronounce it as RAID, and that seems to be the most common way to pronounce it. So
he mentioned the RAID. I downloaded it. We tried it, and I was blown away. And then I tested it with a buddy who's only about 20 to 23 or 4 miles away on 80 meters at 3 p.m. in the afternoon on 5 watts, and we communicated with it. And I was sold. So this RAID thing is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Just the advancement it took from 1600.
So Lee has a question. Is FreeDV a mode which can reside in a radio, that is firmware?
So it is theoretically possible, and in fact, we are working with Flex Radio on integrating it with inside the 8000 and Aurora series. And you can actually, if you have a Raspberry Pi 4 or above, you can actually download an app image, a special app image, onto that Pi, and run it, and it will basically connect to your radio, and it will look like it'll create 2 new modes in Smart SDR effectively, FDVU and FDVL, and it'll operate just as though it was built in. So you can go ahead and start doing that right now, and those modes will even show up on, say, like Smart SDR for iPad or iPhone even.
Yeah, I noticed that with Flex, and I'd heard that before. It does have the image here for Flex, so it's not yet incorporated with Flex, but they're working on it.
There's some stuff that Flex needs to do on their end in order to make that possible. So, but it's really the new radios that they have, the 8000 and Aurora, are really nice because inside they're effectively just Raspberry Pi 4. So as long as we can get it working on a regular Pi 4, then we should have no problems getting it working on the radio itself. Unfortunately, it won't work on the 6000 series as of now. But that's why there's that other app image option for the people who have the older radios still.
And then our favorite Chris, sorry. Hi, Chris. What is the AI doing? Do you use AI chips that are embedded on computers like tensor chips? It's all
just using the CPU. Depending on what processor you're running, there are potentially like optimized versions of the code that get run, but we don't rely on any special hardware.
So not necessarily Intel or AMD, not pro either one, right? It's just kind of more like what kind of power your chip has.
Yeah. We also do have versions available for ARM as well. We do ARM builds as well, and that's how we're
okay.
able to have a universal binary that runs pretty well on like the M1, M2, M3 Macs, etc., as well as anyone still using an Intel Mac.
Same
And then
for
Chris follows
Ubuntu
up
as well.
with, and then Chris
Mhm.
follows up with maybe this could run on something like an X6100 since that can run Linux.
That would be something that we would have to investigate more. I do know that the RAID as it is right now is actually pretty hardware intensive. Like, it's something that wouldn't be able to be run on a microcontroller for sure. It would have to be something like a Raspberry Pi class chip. I do know that the X6100 has, like, I don't remember what processor it has on it, but it's definitely not a microcontroller. But I don't. When I played around with the 6100 before, I noticed that it, even without running anything extra, it seemed to be pretty CPU constrained. So I'm not fully sure offhand it could run on 6100, but like that, it is possible depending on, it could run on other radios in general based on what hardware is running on them.
So Jody chimes back for Chris here. The 6100 has a quad-core ARM processor in it.
Well, that's good to know.
So
I noticed on the site for the Linux applications, it has the ARM, says recommended for Ubuntu 22.04 or newer and Fedora 42. And I don't know Linux. It's something I would like to learn more about, swapping away from Windows. But so it runs well on Linux, it runs well on Mac, and runs well on Windows, correct? Is there any?
Yeah.
Okay.
The I want to add as well the app image. Theoretically, you can run it on any distro that is newer than Ubuntu 22.04, for example.
Mm-hmm.
We just have limited developer resources, so we had to basically like set specific distros that we're supporting.
Yeah. Yeah.
More than likely, if you run it on a distro that's not either Ubuntu or Fedora, it will work. But since I have limited development resources to be able to support anything on any other distro, so that's kind of like, again, that's why I restricted it right there. But
that makes sense, though. I mean, I'm not a programmer in any way, shape, or form, but it makes sense to me to say, look, you need this or newer. We can't just, make it for everything. It's just, you just don't have the time.
So far, up to date on questions.
Okay, I wonder where Don is. Don's got Flex. I wonder if he had questions.
Don's probably over there on Greg K6EGG's live stream, hanging out in chat.
All right. Well, they're missing out.
Right?
All right. So what else? No other questions. How about you, Sean? You got anything? I know you got something.
I guess the one thing that just kind of popped into my mind is there anything you guys are thinking about long term? Not just HF, but maybe VHF, UHF kind of stuff.
There is some work that's been done, basically to have a version of RAID that's effectively able to run on VHF and UHF. A lot of that was just research work done so that we could publish it and it wouldn't be able to be patented by anyone.
Right.
Someone else would have to pick up the mantle and integrate it into like an actual mode that people can use.
Well, I know we got a few programmers in pretty much every ham radio live stream every day, and some in here as well. So
yeah,
I'm sure somebody, or probably a handful of guys, would love to try to work on something. But
looks like Chris is already thinking of something. He's like, I wonder if you could install Tensor chip. It always stumbles on me, on a Raspberry Pi 5 and try to use it to assist the AI.
Well, that is so the one cool thing is that the current version of FreeDV definitely will run well just with the CPU on the Pi 5. In the past, we've been doing testing on older Pis, and I'm not too comfortable recommending anything older than the Pi 5 right now, but that might change with some additional optimization and that sort of thing. But it would be cool if someone could maybe try that out, and you might have to make code changes and stuff to be able to do that, but it would be nice to hear like what your results would be.
So that brings up another question then that Chris has. Is FreeDV completely open source? He wants to crack it open now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris is going to be the one that gets into all of it.
Yes, he gets into
yes,
the guts of it all.
It's completely open source. The RAID codec itself is BSD licensed, and I believe the FreeDV application itself is, I think, either LGPL or GPL. I don't remember offhand.
So there you go, Chris. Chris, I would say reach out to Mooneer, and I'm sure he'd be happy to work with you on all the fun ideas that are circulating your brain right now. Because I know you well enough that you got half a dozen ideas up there right now.
Yeah, but
That's-
Chris, you need to finish your SAT rotor first.
He's got too many things going on.
Dave. Chris is like his dog Atlas. You go, ooh, you want this ball? Go. Oh, you want this ball? Go. You want this ball? Go. Yeah,
and the whole
Chris.
reason,
Classic
reason-
ADHD.
the whole
Yep.
reason I said that is because he showed us part of it on Weekend Warriors Friday night. He needs to finish it. He needs to
Okay.
finish it.
Yeah, I would have to
Now,
agree.
is there? I'm looking on the website here, Mooneer. Is there a way or some kind of trying to find if there's a link or something for people that like developers like yourself that would be willing and have some time and be willing to help or assist in some way? Is there a?
I think there's a link to the GitHub on the website, and if there isn't, I can fix that after this.
Okay. So check for those interested. Check freedv.org and look for the GitHub link. And
Yeah, it's. I just pulled up the site. It's near the. I'd say it's about 2/3 of the way down the page. It's called. There's a source code section, and there's like links for the RAID codec and the FreeDV GUI.
done under down or no? Wait. Oh yeah, I got it. GitHub releases page. No.
Well, that shows that lets you download the releases, but if you scroll down, on the main website there's a documentation and then feature request and then source code.
Yep.
Oh, okay. There, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go, Chris. And anybody else interested? Anybody watching this afterwards?
Paul, I've been dropping the link in chat.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
And I tried to do it without the extra names on there. I forgot the colon there after the S, but it's there.
See. What's I'll throw another question in here while maybe others are thinking. So the V1 came out. Is it a year ago now? It's been out for a while.
I'd say at least over a year. I don't remember exactly. I think it was like closer to the end of 2024, like second half of 2024.
Okay.
I think, but I don't remember offhand.
In what you're working on now, do you see? Because we all see other AI and how quickly it's evolving. 6 months ago, I could easily tell if a photo was AI. Now, sometimes I struggle because it's evolving so fast.
Right.
Is the evolution of this? My thought would be just better audio quality, better connection capabilities, or what would be the evolution of this? Like the next step to improve this.
So we're working on a version 2 of RAID right now, and there's going to be a couple things on that. One thing is the audio quality is supposed to be a little bit better. There's the actual transmitted signal is going to be narrower as well. Right now it's about 1.5 kilohertz.
Wow.
So it'll be narrower than that when it comes out.
Wow, that's crazy. Because it's already at 1.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
And Paul, as
Yeah.
far as AI being so good, I'm surprised you didn't even notice your co-host is all AI.
Well, then I better be kicking the co-host. I don't want AI taking over.
Too
No,
late, already
I'm
infiltrated.
I'm blown away by the speed at which everything is just advancing so fast. So that's one of my questions I've wondered for a while is like, what is the version 2 going to offer? And I can't wait. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, but if you go too much more narrow, you're not going to be the compression on it. I think is going to be take the voice the wrong direction, though, isn't it?
But what if AI can reproduce it? I don't know, man. That's Mooneer's corner.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the great thing about it. Jody says, starting to hit the Shannon and Nyquist limits there. And then Chris says, I feel like AI could help with noise and with the voice.
So there
Yeah.
is an AI noise canceling or noise reducing library or program out there. I think it's called RN Noise or something. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
that is already being worked on.
Oh, cool.
For sure. Not by FreeDV necessarily, but by other people.
Is that just how is that implemented with radio when you're using the radio?
To be honest, I haven't actually tried to use RN noise or anything like that, so I'm not fully sure.
So dabbled a little bit, and there have been a couple live streams on it, but it takes the input of your it basically takes speaker in, processes it, and spits it back out with cleaner, less noise to you.
But you're having to integrate into your computer then, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mostly just go straight to the radio. Okay, so let's see. Any other questions from these guys? Douglas, you got any questions? By the way, I think you're streaming on 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. 5 people, 5 of us, I think, are streaming you out there. Hopefully get this information out.
Yeah. Is there any push for maybe using this, getting in touch with, Aries or CERT type situations?
I mean, I believe last time I know that I have talked to people, and like when I've gone to Hamfest and stuff before, saying that they were going to like do like Aries nets based on 3DV. I don't really hear about what happens after that, so I don't know if that's actually started happening. But I presume it has, considering how much the FreeDV reporter usage has grown.
Okay,
Right.
so James says, so this is a computerized codec shoved into a sound card and pushed through SSB? That's more
so
of a
it's similar
question.
to FreeDV is similar to, like, say, if you're running WSJTX, where like FreeDV basically connects to whatever USB audio codec device your radio gives you when you plug it into your computer, and just outputs the transmit audio on that, and gets the receive audio on that, and then just does the modulation demodulation, and then passes it to either takes the audio from your microphone that's in your computer, or like a headset or something, or like broadcast the decoded audio to like whatever speakers on your computer.
Does that help you, James?
There was a question. I failed to put it up.
Let me go over something real quick while we figure out the next question. I don't know if this helps James or not, but just for those who haven't seen our stream about setting up FreeDV or anything like that, once you've got the software running, you're basically going to have 4 audio device settings. If you do the easy setting, it's only 3 choices, but basically you're choosing in my case, is a USB codec from radio to computer. Then you're going to choose how you hear it. So from computer to my headset. Then your mic is the computer mic, from your mouth mic, right, to the computer. And then back into the radio, in my case, is a USB codec. So it's 4 audio settings besides your cat control and all that you've got to set up correctly. And if you're just hearing like regular radio noise, you've got an audio settings problem. So if you just do this easy setup right here, you just choose your 3 devices. So the radio device is the codec. Well, no, I'm sorry. I'm on the 7300 now. It's just USB audio device. The decoded audio plays back through my headset, and then the transmitted audio records through, not my radio mic. I did that first in the beginning. I'm like, it's not getting me. And Rick is like, dude, use your computer mic, not your radio mic. I'm like, oh, yeah. So then you talk through your computer mic, and it all syncs. And then you just set your cat control and all that up. And usually if people are having problems, it's one of these audio settings. You just got one or 2 of the audio settings wrong. So I just want to.
So Douglas, does that help you? Okay.
Oh, is Douglas? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Doug. I think Douglas is muted, and so he put the question in the private chat.
Oh, well, just unmute. Douglas, just unmute. Without headset, you get a lot of background noise. So here, let me unmute you. Go ahead, Douglas.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which one am I on?
I've got you on the wide screen, not on your phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead with your question, Douglas.
Well, Paul just
So I took it up.
right? Go ahead, Doug.
Douglas, you hearing us?
I'd hook it up through it. Yeah,
Okay.
just a minute.
For those that are watching and not seeing the private chat, he's asking
All right,
how
there
to
I am.
hook it
I'm
up.
fixed.
Okay.
He's
So
asking how do
Douglas-
you hook it up to an 891
Now nothing.
705 7300.
Yeah. So with Mooneer on here,
Yeah,
I don't
I'll be
really
back.
wanna- Okay, I don't want to.
Okay.
I won't go too much into connections. We've done that on another live stream, and I'll do it on another live stream, and we'll do some trials again, and maybe as another Saturday I'll do a FreeDV QSO me while I live stream as well. But basically, you do your cat control like any other digital mode. Same COM port,
Mhm.
whatever you do for FL Digi, Ham Radio Deluxe, whatever it is you use, it's the same for the cat. And then for audio, you just choose those 4 audio settings, remembering that you've got your radio to computer, computer to headset, then your computer microphone to computer, computer to radio. If you set that up right, you won't have a problem.
No,
All right.
no further questions in chat at this time.
Okay.
So we're good.
But like Chris said, it is a weak signal mode for.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to be an emergency coordinator at the county level for Aries. Now I know back in 2005, Katrina came through, and hams were picking up a lot of the workload there as far as communications because nothing else was working. I think the only 2 things that really got to work were one of the FL Digi modes and like PSK31 and Morse code, CW. Those were the only 2 codes. So, I mean, do you want to speak on it being a weak signal mode and the advantages of that?
So the nice thing about FreeDV is that it can decode down to lower than say like a normal sideband would decode down. Or like for example, I've seen like 6 dB thrown around a lot rather for the how strong your sideband transmission has to be before for it to be armchair copy effectively. So you compare that to say like our official spec of -2, that's a 8 dB difference. So we can decode down 8 dB lower effectively than say like what sideband would be capable of for armchair copy. It's of course it's still not as like weak as say like FT8 for example. FT8 can decode down to like -23, but
Right.
compared to like other voice modes that are out there, like FreeDV is definitely weak signal when compared to that.
So Colin and VK. Colin and VK says they had a great article in their ham radio magazine on FreeDV down in Australia a couple months ago. A good Sunday morning net and has started, I guess, there in VK on FreeDV. And for the record, Don has finally showed up.
Yes, and Don, did I say power or signal?
You said signal.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Don's just being snarky Don.
John's just over here flexing. That's all.
I know Don's going to have questions. So while we wait for Don's 12 questions, let me see if I got this audio pumping, or is he already saying them?
Chris actually has another one.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
This rate thing has some interesting implications. Is this good at recognizing signals if you have a good source of what you are looking for, like a wave file?
So the rate itself was trained on a couple hundred hours of audio that was available online. Theoretically, you could go through the training cycle again with some additional audio if you'd like. My understanding from David is that needs actually a significant CPU horsepower to actually accomplish, like say like an RTX 4090 or 50 or one of the higher end 5000 series NVIDIA cards, for example. So it might be something that you'd have to spend quite a bit of money and time getting working in order to do that. In my experience, at least, and with other people's experience, stuff that's not part of the training, that wasn't part of the training, is actually reproduced pretty well on decode. Not 100% obviously, but like it's actually pretty good.
73
So,
Jimmy, have a good one.
Okay, Jim.
And then James, this is more generic question, so we'll see if he gets it. Curious if anyone has tried the QMX Plus as a free DV radio with its different SSB.
I actually have a QMX. So there's a setting inside FreeDV. So the thing with the QMX is that the digital USB and digital LSB are pretty much like they're reserved for, say, like FT8 or any other single carrier modes, which FreeDV is not. So there's a setting in FreeDV in tools and options that you have to set to make it not use DigU and DigL modes and just use regular upper and lower sideband. And once you do that, the QMX actually works pretty well for FreeDV.
There you go, James.
Do most use the digital or not? That's always been a question of mine. When I've not used digital, I seem to be connected more to people.
I've always heard that for like any sort of digital mode in general, if your radio has it, to use digital USB or digital LSB or whatever your radio calls them.
Okay.
Because not on all radios, but on most radios, that tends to disable a lot of the processing that would be done for like regular upper and lower sideband, for example.
Yeah. Okay.
And Don finally has a question. What is the correct way to work FreeDV? Should we treat the program frequencies like calling frequencies and move off to another frequency to chat?
Yeah. FreeDV works pretty similarly to FM, on where like the strongest signal basically wins. So because of that, like if I'm on 14236 or whatever, along with someone, then I'm basically the only one on 14236 while I'm transmitting. So it's not really, just like with FM simplex, it's not really a good idea to monopolize, say, 14236 for an hour-long QSO with someone, especially since FreeDV has gotten more popular now. So in short, yes, treat it like just like a calling frequency, and if it's going to be longer than a couple minutes, go to another frequency to chat longer.
There you go, Don.
You'll notice that in the reporter. Let me show you real quick while we're on that question. Oh, the text is in the way. Can you move me over?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Way ahead of you.
So you'll notice here, like on the right-hand side, if I'm going to choose, whoops.
Did you try to move yourself over?
No. Okay.
That was weird.
So in the top right corner, it might be too small. I think I can see it. Right here, it has the presets, like for those who do FT8, you know, all that whisper and all those, they have those presets. So let's say I want to go to 40 meters. There's two presets, 1770, 1970. I'm just going to do 1770. And then when you click on Tools, FreeDV Reporter, it opens this window, and you can see what everybody's on, what frequency, what version of FreeDV, gives signal reports and everything. So you'll notice all these VK call signs that are blue and the one VK is red. So the red one is talking and the blue ones can hear him and look at their frequency. It's not 177 or 197. It's 0830. So what they've done is they probably have a weekly net or something, and they've set up, this is the frequency we're going to. So that's what you do is you can get on, like I can get on here. I can listen to any of these guys here if I want to talk and see if anyone just wants to come back to me. I'm not going to hear VK, but I could join a net, I guess, in progress or whatever you want. But yeah, it's got the presets, and then you can move off and talk with somebody on another frequency like these guys have done here. So I don't know why I'm not getting any audio from it, but
because it's a live stream call, nothing goes right the first time.
Yeah. While we're doing that, let me show you, for those who don't know. Now you should hear it. Mute the. And we're going to start. What's that? Oh, we're going to start with the analog. Then we're going to do D-Star, and then we're going to do the FreeDV on the RAID, the BBFM RAID. You're going to hear the sound difference of the same statement, okay?
On the smooth flanks.
Glue the sheet to the dark blue background.
It's easy to tell the depth of a well.
4 hours of steady work faced us.
Here's D-Star.
The boat canoe slid on the smooth flanks.
Glue the sheet to the dark blue background.
It's easy to tell the depth of a well.
4 hours of steady work faced us.
And now
The
on
birch
FreeDV.
canoe slid on the smooth planks.
Glue the sheet to the dark blue background.
It's easy to tell the depth of a well.
4 hours of steady work faced us.
What you'll notice just go between that and analog FM, you don't have any of the FM staticky noise in the background. Now think of that on HF, right? But that's under good conditions. Let's look at the one this is try tough fading channels that simulate a vehicle moving at 60 kilometers per hour with weak signal. Now watch the difference. Here's analog.
Birch canoe slid on the smooth plank.
Glue the sheet to the dark blue background.
Easy to tell the depth of the well.
4 hours of steady work faced us.
And D star.
Canoe slid on the smooth plank.
Glue the sheet to the dark
It's easy to tell the
R2D2.
Yeah, that's not my mic or streaming. That's audio in poor conditions. But now let's listen to FreeDV.
The birch canoe slid on the smooth planks.
Glue the sheet to the dark blue background.
It's easy to tell the depth of a well.
4 hours of steady work faced us.
Okay, can
I'm
anyone
just
here
going to
not
say
see the advantage?
That is amazing.
it is amazing. But I will say this: the first voice clip on each of them probably needs some modification to it. Either that or it's my ears.
Well, the first one's the analogs. That's just standard FM.
No. Play the FreeDV one again.
Oh, the one in good conditions or bad conditions?
In good conditions.
Right.
The birch canoe slid on the smooth planks.
Glue the sheet to the dark
Okay,
blue
pause it.
background.
The first one, what does everybody hear? This is feedback, by the way.
Female dog.
Yeah. Okay, Michael, I'm not alone then.
Okay.
The female dog, replace the word there, canoe. That's what I hear.
Oh my goodness, Mooneer. Are you gonna explain what he says or not? I thought that they had the text here, but I guess they don't. I thought it said what they said here. I don't see it,
Michael, you
though.
want to fix Paul? And...
Yeah.
Yeah, you can equal this out here. Yeah. So I just want just the difference under bad conditions, because that's really where this really shines is under bad conditions. I mean, it works no matter what, but you guys can see that or hear the difference between regular FM and the same would apply in an HF situation, right? I've talked to people on HF and it sounds like I'm on a repeater. You don't have any of that.
Honestly, it sounds better than DMR, which is the business standard now. I could totally see this being used in a business setting.
Mm-hmm. And it's just going to get
better in
from here.
P25.
Yeah. I just think
chirps.
I just want to make sure. Yeah, everyone hears again. This is weak signal. All right, analog.
Birch canoe slid on the smooth plank.
And here's FreeDV's rad.
The birch canoe slid on the smooth planks.
Glue the sheet to the dark.
That's a huge difference.
Is it birch?
I don't know.
I just heard it.
All right.
I don't
Mooneer,
know
what
how
are they
to do it.
saying?
You're gonna have to have them re-record it, Mooneer. We got too much conflict here.
What is being said there? I'm sorry.
It's
Mooneer?
like
It's probably the birch canoe.
Blue
yeah,
background.
I would say birch probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Canoe-
That sounds like it
canoe.
came from a I think that came from like some sort of like Australian radio recording potentially. That's what it's. I don't remember where that came from offhand, but that seems like it came from some sort of show or whatever. And I don't really see, unless it was like something that's not for general audiences. I wouldn't see them being anything other than birch canoe.
I can't see
Okay.
them doing something bad or questionable.
Just the way it sounds, at least in my ears.
That's just Frank Mooneer.
Well,
just
you know
have
what?
to
I
correct him.
didn't even catch that context until Frank pointed it out. So
Yeah. So we're gonna be
And I
banning
didn't
Frank
even,
after
I didn't
tonight.
even lead anybody. I just said, "Does that sound weird?" So,
Anyway,
Paul, apparently Jody's complaining about your microphone. You have very little mids and highs tonight.
man, there's always something. Jody, I'm trying to give you that deeper buttery smooth voice for you tonight, so I got rid of some of those high tones. James, or not James, Mooneer, is there anything else that we haven't asked that you would like to share with us, or that we might want, that you think we would want to know or should know, and we just haven't thought of the question?
So, on the subject of people hearing different things, right?
Mhm.
FreeDV does have a filter. Like if you go to the tools menu and choose filter, then you can adjust your microphone and speaker audio. Basically increase or decrease some bass, treble, etc. And say if you're hard of hearing, for example, you can increase certain frequencies you hear better and decrease certain frequencies that you don't hear as well. So that
Very
is
cool.
So that's something that's good for like hard of hearing for sure.
That's under filter, it looks like. Is that the right spot?
Yeah, under the tools menu.
All right, very cool. Here, let me show them real quick. So it's just a kind of an EQ-esque look here, and you can change your mids, your here. See, so for Jody, I could bring my mids and highs up higher here, and then he could hear me better.
No, so Paul, what Jody wants.
Jody wants this. He wants the nice.
Jody, the ASMR is over on Twitch. We'll have to switch over there.
He wants the Frank creepy ASMR. There you go.
The ASMR is over on my channel, Jody, and you know it.
Should we give the viewers what they request?
No, that's on Twitch. They can go to Twitch for that. So is there anything else on, because to me, WinLink and VARA and all that stuff, which I use regularly with my MCOM group, I ask that they all send me a WinLink email, especially if they can't check into the net and give me an update. There's nothing really that I see that's needed in that. Is there anything that the people, and I'm not sure exactly how much you participate in the WinLink and VARA. I know you said you help with that too, but is there something coming up or things that you can say that maybe they're working on that might enhance it even more than it already is?
I can't really, well, I'm not sure how much activity there is really. There is like on again, off again work to try to do an official open source WinLink Express client.
Gotcha.
But that work has been moving slowly for sure.
Okay.
And I can't really give much details because there hasn't been too much progress on that.
Okay.
I know there's like Pat, for example, and I need to try that at some point. There's a couple people in my local areas who use it to
That's
like
one
check
for Mac, right?
into the WinLink net that I run.
That's for
And
Mac, right?
they seem to do pretty well with that.
Linux based, Mac based, yeah.
Yeah, because I think one of the guys in my group couldn't get WinLink working. He's on Mac, and then I think Pat was what he uses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to me, WinLink works amazing. I don't know any kind of update it would need, but I think it's a great program, especially for MCOM. So I use that a lot. Let's see. All right. We're going to be winding it down, everybody. I don't want to keep Mooneer up too late. So last call for questions for Mooneer for FreeDV. And you're going to be at Hamcation, I assume?
I'm going to try to go for Hamcation next year. I'm not going to be able to go to Dayton this year, unfortunately. But
that's what I'm sorry. I meant Hamvention. I always mess those up. So you're not going to be at Dayton this year, okay?
But there's still going to be a FreeDV booth.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple fellow members of the FreeDV project are going to be manning that booth, and you can go ahead and ask them questions and stuff if you happen to be going to Dayton. So
very good. No,
yeah, I noticed you guys had a booth at one of our local ham fests up in Sedalia last year. And I didn't get time to get by and talk to anybody. So I'm kind of hoping you guys have one again this year.
Mm-hmm.
So Interstellar
like
appreciate.
Oh, sorry. There's going to be like I said, there's still going to be a 3DV booth at Dayton. I'm going to try to go to PacificCon. No guarantees. That I think based on the reason why I can't go to Dayton this year, I think I should be able to go to PacificCon, but that's something I have to discuss with my family. But
that's good.
And I think by then I should be able to go like back to the normal like Hamfest schedule again, like go to Orlando, etc. So we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, he's out in your neck of the woods, Frank.
No, oh, okay, yeah, sort of. Mooneer's 6.5 hours south of me.
Well,
I'm up
he's
at the
West
north end of
Coast in
San
California. I
Francisco.
mean, that's basically your neck of the woods.
Sure.
I mean, you guys are in the
up
same
at north-
state. From the rest of us here in Texas and the real part of America.
Hey, listen. I'll go down that Texas rabbit hole, Sean. Don't you worry about that. Mooneer, I'm up here north end of San Francisco Bay.
Cool.
So, Interstellar Starman does say he appreciates you coming to take the time with us to go into detail about FreeDV tonight.
Cool.
And,
Thank you guys for having me for sure.
Chris says he'll try and look at this. It gives him lots of ideas. Maybe he can nerd out with you at Dayton. Just watch for the white fluffy doggy.
Yeah, he's got his Samoyed Atlas. He won't be there this year, Chris.
Chris, you might actually have to come to California to see him.
All right. Well, there's no point in dragging it out. Let Mooneer get to sleep at a normal hour. Thanks again, Mooneer, and I know it's taken some time for me to get on the ball and get this going, but I appreciate you being patient and working with me on schedules.
No worries. That stuff happens, and thank you for having me again. Now it's only 7:20 here, so hopefully I still have time to go like have dinner and that sort of thing. So
there you go. All right. Well,
yeah, we still have dinner time out here, and go on a hike or whatever for sunset. Because yeah,
I was Pacific time for I don't know 20, 30 years of my life, North Idaho and then Seattle. But now being Central Time, it's a little odd because my boys are still on West Coast time, and so they go to bed earlier. And anyway, it's a mess. So thank you so much, Mooneer. Thanks everyone for your questions. I'm going to play the outro. They're going to still hear our audio, and if you guys want to hang around afterwards for a few minutes, but this is your chance to say your goodbyes. So,
well, I've dropped links to everybody's channel in the main.
Appreciate
stream.
it.
I can't drop them in others' chats tonight, but that's okay. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Frank. Thanks, everyone in 73. Have a good week. Get on FreeDV.
73, all.
Yeah.
See ya.
73.
Thanks again, man. Good info.
No audio, but we're still here, guys.
Yeah, we're still here.
We're just chilling here. Hey guys, coming up this weekend, 21st is the Go Kick Challenge. So we talked about it last week. So if y'all can make it to North Texas, if not, Sean, Paul, and I, and several others are going to be out there. Probably do a live stream or two. So
follow all the channels, and one of us will be live streaming.
And for those on Michael and Paul's live stream, y'all about to get dumped into mine.
So y'all take care.
See you next week.
7-3, y'all.
7-3, all.
73.
Bye, guys.